Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I am, of course, your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a fantastic night. I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Peter Kent from the Lizard King channel. How's it going, Peter?
I'm going good, Armando. How are you?
Oh, doing okay for a Saturday night, Sunday morning,
Yeah,
your time.
yeah,
So, ladies and gentlemen, Peter and I have a treat for you. As I said, this is going to be a long video. Grab some
yeah. It
food,
is. Yeah, it
grab some food, grab a drink, grab a joint if you do that,
is.
and indulge and enjoy. What we are going to be doing tonight is doing an album ranking of one Van Halen, all 12 albums. Yes, even Van Halen 3. God help
Yep.
you all. And we're going to go through albums 12 to 1, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this as much as we're going to enjoy bringing this to you. So for me, with Van Halen, I started to get into them officially. I know it's a cop out, but from around when 1984 came out, that was the first time I really
Yes.
started to get into the band. So, Peter, what about yourself? How long have you been listening to Van Halen?
Pretty much the same album. Pretty much 1984. Yeah.
Really?
The last David Lee Roth album. That's when I first heavily got into him, and then 5150 after that from Sammy Hagar, and then I went back after that. I went back to the beginning. And then
Mm.
just as albums came out, I just picked them up at the time. Yeah, so pretty much around that period there, the last when I first got really into them, 1984, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, what is it about Van Halen that, for you, that really sort of made you sit up and say, like, what the hell is this? Like, this is
yeah.
good.
Oh, just it's the showmanship of and David Lee Roth as a front man. I think
Okay.
oh he's up there as one of the greatest as far as entertaining goes. On stage. I
Okay.
think. And of course, Eddie Van Halen's wizardry guitar work, and the whole band. The drumming, Alex Van Halen and Michael Anthony bass, and a good backing vocalist. I think Michael
Yeah.
Anthony. Yes.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree. Well, I'll give you guys a little bit of a background on Van Halen. They hail from Pasadena, California. They were doing the club circuit and they formed in 1974. And you guys can correct me in the comments below, but I believe they went by the name of Mammoth at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it was David Lee Roth who suggested they use the name Van Halen because, again, Alex and Eddie Van Halen in the band. So he figured it was an identifiable name and
Yeah.
that it would be a name that would stick. So they agreed to use Van Halen. Now, again, in the band, you had, for a majority of years, you had David Lee Roth on vocals, Eddie Van Halen on guitars, assorted instruments, Michael Anthony on bass, backing vocals, and Alex Van Halen on drums and percussion. And they've had how can I put this diplomatically? They've had a colorful past with
Yeah.
regards to
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
with regards to keeping lead singers, getting rid of lead singers, getting lead singers back in the band, and then just having it not work out. So what we are going to attempt to do in this long video tonight is rank the entire catalog, albums 12 to 1 of one Van Halen. So, being raised proper by my mother, I will let Mr. Peter Kent go first. So, what is your number 12?
My number 12. I haven't got a copy, so I'll just bring it up on the thing for you on the phone. Where we
Sure.
are we? Where are we? There we go. Van Halen 3
Ah,
is number 12 from 1998. So Van Halen 3. Um, yeah, as I said, I went to this tour. The tour was I like the show. Look, it has some good moments. Yeah, it's just I like other albums better. I mean, once I've heard you say it's a good track. Fire in the Hole's a good rocker. I like Josephina a lot, and Year to the Day's a good track. Eddie even sings the last song, isn't it? How many say I?
I'm many say
That's
I.
quite interesting. Yeah. So look, uh, I don't know if he was a good fit for the band, Gary Sharon. He's got a good voice, but I don't know if he was for Van Halen so much. Uh, what's that? I think was it Without You? That was the lead off single, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty decent rock. It's just that I don't know. The songs don't get past decent for me. There's a couple of dodgy songs as well, but it's it's not too bad. It's a little bit better than what people say. I would say, you know, it's a little bit better than what most people say. So that'd be my number 12. Yeah, but you know, it's worth getting for the collection if people want to go get it. I don't think it's easy to get now either. I don't think it's
No,
easy to
no,
find.
it's one of the only Van Halen albums that has been discontinued or
Yeah.
deleted completely from the Warner Brothers catalog.
Yes.
Oh, and guys, if you want to get it, go to Discogs, go to your local
Yes.
um, record shop that sells secondhand CDs. You can find it there. I had my copy stolen, and I found my second copy for $3.99. Actually,
Wow.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll get into my
Yeah.
my opinion of that, but I did see them on this tour
Yeah.
in Toronto. Um, they were good. They were good.
Yeah. Yeah. The show was good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, when I saw him, he was flying over. Gary Sharon was like doing swan dives over amplifiers and showing up
yeah.
behind the drum kit, and it was
Yeah.
it was very interesting. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. It's not I wouldn't say it's a flat out bad album. It has moments, you know, so there's some good moments interspersed through the album. It's just that as an album, it doesn't quite, you know, it's quite a long album too. It's like hour or
Yeah,
5 minutes
it's
or something. Yeah.
65 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's number 12. But yeah, a bit not that great, but has
But
its moments, I would
but a
say.
bit dodgy
Yeah.
for you. A bit dodgy
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. A bit dodgy for me, yeah.
Well, okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna piss a lot of people off with this list. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, my friend. Okay. Um, haters, come and get me. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, my number 12 is A Different Kind of Truth.
Yep. Yeah.
I can just hear the nails screeching on the
Oh yeah.
fretboards
Yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah.
Released in 2012 for Interscope, the one and only release for Interscope. They had left Warner Brothers at this point. Their last release prior to this of new material was Van Halen 3 in 1998.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, their big reunion with David Lee Roth on vocals. I like the album. I mean, and ladies and gentlemen, that's the difficulty of doing this list.
Yeah.
One of these,
Definitely.
yeah, one of these albums has to go to number 12. Like, has to be at the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Upon listening to it yesterday, I like it better than I liked it before, but
Mm.
the fact, I mean, songs like Tattoo, the lead off single, She's the Woman,
Yeah.
You and Your Blues.
Mm.
David Lee Roth is a better singer than I remembered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think so.
I always
Mm.
kind of picture him as, hey, Diamond Dave,
Yeah.
Mr. Showman kind of a thing, right? Which I've heard. Let me just adjust my glasses. I've heard that it's pissed off the members in the band when he started doing that Diamond Dave shit, like
Yeah,
you know, in in public and stuff during interviews and stuff. But in doing my notes, I didn't realize that he played rhythm guitar and keyboards
yeah,
and stuff. I really
yeah,
didn't had no idea.
yeah.
So I like the album. I think what kind of put it down at number 12 for me was the fact that uh, most of the tracks were like unreleased stuff, like that wasn't
Yeah,
used. So it kind of like soured it for me in that respect.
yeah. Demos, I think old demos or something.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were all demos that they kind of polished up, and
Mm,
I kind of thought, like why? But
yeah.
possibly realizing that Eddie Van Halen could be ill at this point or starting to become ill, or
Mm,
maybe didn't have the physical strength to work on new material.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe that was the reason. But yeah, no, I like it. I just and these albums have to go in some order. So that is my
That's the
number.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
yeah.
my number 12, A Different Kind of Truth.
In kind of truth. Okay. Number 11. Okay. I haven't got this either. I used to have it. I must get it again. But I remember it coming out at the time. 1995 Balance, number 11.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Released in
Uh,
March of 95. Okay.
yeah, 95. Yeah. The last one with Sammy Hagar. So
Yeah.
that was, yeah. Yeah, it's about, was it 53 minutes in length? What did I like about it? I think my favorite song on this is Amsterdam. I like Amsterdam as a song. That song, a really good
Yeah.
rocking number. Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. I remember that being around as a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good track.
Radioff single.
Yes, 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 I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Can't Stop Loving You. I can take or leave that. Um, Big Fat Money is a good rocker. I quite liked Aftershock as well. Has some nice moments in Take Me Back and Feeling, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was the weakest of the Sammy years for me. Just
Really?
yeah, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, some people disagree. Some people might agree with me. The
Okay.
seven still starts things off all right, but yeah, I don't know. Just it's good, but it's not a great album for me. But I'll give it. I'll say it's a good album. I'll say it's better than Van Halen 3, most
Mm.
definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna go balance. Yeah, number 11 there. Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Mm.
What I like about their albums too, in the beginning and near the end, they would put in some instrumental pieces,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, which for me, I find kind of break it up a little bit in terms of just to give you just to give you something different, like a bit of a different atmosphere on the
Yeah. Yeah.
records. But because I think on balance they have three instrumentals,
Yes.
um, and yeah, no, it's a good choice. It's a surprising choice for number 11, but it's a good choice.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll be
Okay,
interested. Tell you what, I'd be interested to see how
okay,
your list turns out. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
okay. We must carry on, ladies and gentlemen. My number 11 is Diver Down
Okay.
from 1982. Um, oh God. I mean, I remember the video for "Oh Pretty Woman" when I was a kid, and uh, hmm, it's a good album. Again,
Yeah.
produced by Ted Templeman. I think the fact that 5 out of the 12 tracks are
Yeah.
covers.
Yeah.
And at the time, I read that they felt they were like being pressured to put an album out. They had come off the Fair Warning tour, and they wanted some time off. So David Lee Roth suggested, why don't we just put out a single just to sort of keep us in the public eye? So he suggested recording Dancing in the Street.
Yep.
And Eddie listened to it and he's like, how the hell am I going to put a guitar accompaniment to this? I can't. There's nothing, I can't work with this, right? So he says, well, if you want to do a cover song, why don't we do Roy Orbison's Oh Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
He says, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, they very quickly, they release a single. It becomes a hit. Warner Brothers says, we need a bloody album. You need to get back in the studio and do another album. So they were sort of forced back in the studio to do, Diver Down. And they really wanted a break, especially Eddie Van Halen. What other songs are good on the album? They start off where Have All the Good Times Gone, the Kinks,
Yeah.
cover, which David Bowie did on his Pinups album
Yeah,
in
he did, yeah.
'73. That's all right. Oh Pretty Woman. Intruder, which is the intro to Pretty Woman, is a good sort of it's a good sort of intro in for the track. Secret is another one. Little guitars, a little, intro to two guitars.
Well,
Cathedral is another good instrumental. What else? The Full Bug, it's all right. I mean, I just wish that they had more original material on the album.
Yeah, that's the common complaint with it. The common complaint with the album. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even the Van Halen brothers bitched at the fact that, especially Alex, like, why did we have to record Dancing in the Street?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, you're complaining about it now. Why didn't you complain and not refuse to do it when they wanted you
We're
to
doing it.
do it?
Yeah, when you were doing the album. Yeah.
It's like, it's very good. It's all well and good to complain now after it's all done, right? But yeah, so that's my number 11. Diver Down.
Would you say you like the album? Would you say?
I do.
Yeah.
I think other albums with Roth on vocals are stronger,
Oh God, yeah.
more aggressive,
Yeah.
more guttural, like right from the gut, like they kick you in the face. I mean, guitar.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get into that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just think that this album kind of, let's put it this way, if they would have taken the original tracks and say, take the cover of Pretty Woman and released it as an EP, that would have been stronger than this.
Yeah.
But what do I know? Right?
It's all opinion, isn't it? It's all opinion.
Well, yeah, that's just it, guys. Right, and you're right, Peter. It's all opinion, and there are no right or wrong answers. That's what you feel.
No.
So yeah, that's my number 11, Diver Down.
Diver Down. Okay, so we've got number 10 now.
Number 10.
Now, just want to make the point, I really like this album. I remember at the time when it came out, I played it a hell of a lot. I really like this album, but considering what they did before, I couldn't put it any higher. I could have put it maybe 1 or 2 higher, but I left it at number 10, and it's from 1988, this one.
Okay.
OU812.
Okay.
Really good album. I can still consider it a very good album. Mine or Mine, the opening track, very keyboardy. Opening, very keyboard, but a pretty decent track. I quite like the song When It's Love, the ballady sort of
Yeah,
rock song. I
yeah,
quite liked that all along.
the
I
single.
thought it was catchy, and I always enjoyed that song. At a very heavy song, AFU, Naturally Wired.
Yeah,
Very heavy track, but very well done by the guys. Carbo Wabo, it's a 7-minute song, and again, a very good track. We
yeah,
always enjoyed that. Yeah, they stretch out a bit there, 7 minutes. You got what the source of infection. That's a real quick one. Feel so good is a tender song.
yeah,
I'm not big on finish what you started. I've never really. That was a bit of a
yeah.
weak point for me. Black and Blue's okay. Sucker in a, and they've
The
got
three
Sucker in a
piece.
3-piece.
Yeah,
It's not too bad also, yeah, but it hits the mark most of the time
yeah,
for me. And I think it's a really good album. I think they did they put an extra track on the CD, the Little Feat song,
yeah,
Apolitical Blues, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
which is not bad actually. I don't mind that. But yeah, a good Sammy album, a good Sammy album, and it'd be my what have we got here? So we got
it's it's your number 10.
yeah, Sammy number 10. But as far as Sammy albums go, it'd be my number 3. You know, my
Oh,
third.
oh,
You see,
okay,
I'm just seeing where what Sammy albums I've got above it. You know.
okay.
So yeah, I consider it a very good album. I don't. There might be a great album, but it's a very good album. A lot of good moments, and at the time, I loved it. I remember playing the CD, you know,
Hmm.
constantly. But yeah,
Yeah.
number 10 for me. OU812. Yeah,
Oh, cool, cool. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
I remember. Uh, God, I remember when it came out. I remember. Um, my head's all over the place right now for that track. What's that track? Um, when
When it's
it's
love,
love.
no?
Yeah, the single.
Yeah,
I remember the video got a lot of heavy airplay here in Canada
it did.
on
Yeah,
Much Music.
it
Um,
did.
and so did Finish What You Started.
Yeah,
That track was written, Finish What You Started, at the very last minute, like
yeah.
month before they were supposed to go in and record it. They wrote it.
Mm, mm.
So, you know, but yeah, no, that's fun. That's great. I mean, my number 10 is going to fucking kick people right in the teeth right now. My
Oh, it's a
number,
surprise, is it? A surprise?
my number 10 is 1984.
Ooh, that is a surprise.
Again, haters come and get me. Um, you don't know where I live, so sorry. Um, I like the album. I think that it suffers from, again, okay, well, backtrack. 1984, released in 1983. One of the first of 3 albums to feature numbers in their title.
Yep.
This album, I think, for me, suffers from overplaying, like
Mm.
Burnout. Just
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
hearing it all like Jump in Panama on the radio and
Mm.
Hot for Teacher. And um, I just, I like 1984. I like the lead off intro. I like Jump. Obviously, I like
Oh, yeah.
Panama,
Yeah.
Drop Dead
Yeah.
Legs, Hot for
Mm.
Teacher. Um, I just, like other songs like I'll Wait, which to me, I never need to hear that song again.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite common to be played at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the second single
Yeah.
from the album.
Yeah.
Lyrics written by Michael McDonald of the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although he wasn't credited at first, he sued and he got money for it afterwards, baby. So, he got paid big time. And he has said it was he said it was a cash fall for him, like
Yeah.
a cash injection for him, because he got back royalties and
Mm.
he deserved it. I just think that the album suffers from overplaying, being
Oh, okay.
overplayed, and I
What
just
did you think of it at the time? What did you think of it when you
I
first
thought it
heard
was
it?
great. I thought it was
Yeah.
great. I really didn't like At the time, I really didn't like, even back then, I didn't like David Lee Roth's vocal delivery on "Oh Wait."
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I
Yeah.
just thought it was too corny,
Oh, okay.
And then you got
Mm.
Michael Anthony, on the chorus is just screaming, "Oh wait!" I'm like, like what the fuck, like really, like this is the best. I'm sorry, I just didn't think it was that great. I liked Jump. I loved Hot for Teacher, that video. Come on,
Mm.
I mean, it was hilarious. And it was a good song. It's a good rocking song.
Mm.
And his ability to do, Eddie Van Halen's ability to do soloing and tapping, two hand tapping, I
Yeah.
should say, is amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. And
Mm.
I should say too that I was there's a history of rock and roll documentary. You can find it on YouTube, but I have the actual DVD set, a 10 DVD disc set. Came out in 1995. Eddie Van Halen is stated on that documentary that Eric Clapton was the one that really touched
Yeah.
him in
Yeah.
terms of guitar players.
Mm.
So yeah, again, number 10 for me is 1984. Sorry, guys.
Cool. Oh well, that's how it goes. It's just you got to put them in some order, don't you? I guess.
That's the
Yeah.
problem, right?
That's the thing. Yeah.
Don't hate me,
Now,
everybody, please. Okay, go on. Go ahead.
no bad messages, mate.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you
Number
go.
9, isn't it? Number 9.
Yeah,
Another album I liked, but has to go at number 9. What year was this? I've forgotten the year. 1991, wasn't it? For unlawful carnal knowledge.
yeah, 1991.
90, yeah, 1991 for
Yeah,
unlawful carnal knowledge.
yeah,
A really good album, but I just like other albums better. Now the opening track's a great rocking track, Pound Cake. It's a
yeah,
great rocking number. Really
yeah,
always like that song. Judgment Day, really good as well. I really like Judgment Day. It's a good rocker. I
yeah,
believe they played that live at the time.
yeah.
Um, Not a big spanked guy, not a big, not a big lover. I think that comes down for that song,
Oh,
the
Spank
quality in
Line.
that song.
Is it
Yeah,
Spank Line? Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having an
the
issue with
spank line.
Boomerang.
Do you remember he says
So,
spank? Oh, okay. Got me now.
yeah. Not yet. You're still frozen.
Hello.
There we go.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, good, good.
Hold on. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Um, okay, are you there now? I can see you now.
Yep. Moving.
Yep, yep. You just gotta be careful with the signal. For some reason, it's
Oh,
screwing
it's
up.
just happened now. Okay.
Okay, so what were you
Yeah,
saying
I'm
about?
spanked. I'm not big on. It's okay, but
Yeah,
I'm not
Spank.
crazy about it. I thought at the time Run Around was very catchy, but over time it's sort of gone a bit down for me. Still like it.
Yeah,
Pleasure Dome's an interesting sounding track. I quite like that. In and Out, not too bad. Don't mind it. Man on a Mission, the same. Dream is Over, probably the same. But I love Right Now. I must admit, Right Now is a great, great song.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Probably Nelly the best on here with Pound Cake, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then he does a little instrumental, 316. It's common on Van Halen albums, a little instrumental.
Yeah,
And a very catchy song to finish, Top of the World. Really good song.
yeah,
Really catchy finish. But the highlights for me are probably right now, Pound Cake and Top of the World, I reckon.
yeah.
But I'll probably go with Right Now as the best song on here. One of their best songs from the Hagar period, I think,
Mm-hmm.
Right Now. So that's 1991. I think this is a very good album. I have seen people rank this very highly, real up the list, but very good album by him. Just I like other albums better. That's all. So number 9 from 1991 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Yeah,
Yeah,
number 9.
and Yeah, and that's the last album to be produced by Ted Templeman.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, no, it's a good choice.
Mm.
My number 9 is OU812.
Oh,
Yeah, for all the reasons you've said before, I mean, it's a good album. The album
yeah.
kind of came out. Um, I remember it just. I don't remember a lot of promotion, pre-promotion before the album came out. Like a lot of announcement, like they didn't announce it was coming out, kind of a thing, too much. Like
Mm.
there wasn't a big push for it. It kind of sort of like just appeared there, like
Yeah,
on the
yeah, this
scene.
time, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
songs like like the single When It's Love. Black and Blue was a single. I don't remember. Black and Blue didn't have a video, so I really
No,
didn't
it didn't. No,
didn't
no,
take to that
no.
too much. When It's Love was played a lot on Much Music in Canada,
Yes.
a lot. Finish What You Started. I like that song. To me, it's like a fun,
Oh,
relaxed track.
yeah, yeah,
You've got the video with Eddie Van Halen, with the cowboy hat on, and
yeah, yeah,
you know, I mean, what I like about the Hagar years is that, to me, you had another guitarist in the band, like another musician,
yeah, yeah,
like a musician in the band, where they could play rhythm or lead guitar if they had to, and it kind of added another
yeah.
musical dynamic to the band, very much like Thin Lizzy. When Thin Lizzy added the two good, added Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham as the two twin
Oh,
lead
yeah.
guitarists, right? It added another dimension to Thin Lizzy, made them more of a
Mm,
hard rocking band, right? Which, and to
mm.
me, I always thought Sammy Hagar sang circles around David Lee Roth for some reason. I don't know, like
Oh, yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought
I agree with that too. Yeah, yeah.
that he was better on
Yeah.
harmony vocals and stuff, like double tracking
Mm.
harmony vocals and stuff. But yeah, Feel So Good was another, I believe it was another single. That's a good track. Um Again, ladies
Mm.
and gentlemen, that's the problem about putting these lists together, is that they got to go bloody somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 9. Sorry, guys.
Okay,
Um
number 9. Yeah, and as far as the going back to the vocals, I think he's a superior singer, but
yeah,
for showmanship and yeah, being a front man, Roth is hard to beat. For entertainment value
yeah.
on
No,
stage.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean, the high
yeah,
kicks and the whole, the way,
yeah, yeah. He's so entertaining. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I do agree with
And
that.
he's got a charisma about him too. He's got something about him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
That's true.
Number 8 now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got. This is the last one I haven't got, so I'll just I'll bring it up. Where is it? This one here. 2012, A Different Kind of Truth
Number
is
8.
my number 8. Yeah. Um, a lot of people hate Tattoo. I quite like Tattoo, actually. I always like Tattoo. I know it gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a woman. That's good. I think it
Yeah.
opens really well. I think it's a very hard rocking album. It's quite a heavy album,
Yeah.
as you said. It was from the demos.
Yeah.
And it's got some good cuts on there. Chinatown's a good one. You and Your Blues. I think that the thing with the album is the reason I have it a bit down is because not just the demo thing. I think it's quite front loaded. There's a lot of good songs at the
Yeah.
start. The main songs are at the start of the album, 3 or 4, 5 songs. It's
Yeah.
quite front loaded, and it just fades a bit for me towards the end of the album. But But those first few, you know, she's a woman and Tattoo, You and Your Blues, Chinatown.
Yeah.
They're good tracks. They're good tracks, and yeah, as it goes on, you know, Stay Frosty. That's not too bad though. Stay Frosty
Mm.
and Beats Working. Yeah, just as it goes on, it just fades a bit for me. But I think it's a good hard rocking album, a good attempt, especially this late in the career. You know, this late in the
Yeah.
career, I think it's a pretty good effort. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the points are it's a good hard rocking album, but just a bit the good stuff's at the front of the album, I think. Yeah. So
It's
number
front
8 for
loaded.
me
Yeah.
is
It's front
Different Kind
loaded.
of Truth. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the trick with putting an album together is to sequence it where you've got good
Yeah.
songs all through the album. Like you've got to balance it out
Yeah.
a little bit. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm-mm.
but I mean, that's a good choice. That's a good
Yeah.
choice. My number 8
Not a
is
shock, is it?
is for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Uh, from 1991. This was where I think from my research that I was reading yesterday, I was doing a bit of background search on this. This was where problems started to happen between Sammy Hagar and the rest of the band, the Van Halen brothers in particular. They wanted to work with Glenn Johns,
Mm.
famous producer, worked with The Who, most notably the Eagles in the 70s. Also worked with Stevie Nicks in 1994, much to Stevie Nicks' chagrin, because she said that they didn't get along very well.
Oh, okay.
But so they agreed to work with Ted Templeman. That album took about a year to do, because apparently it had to do with Hagar. And this is, I think, where problems started to happen between the guys. It's a good album, strong album. I I think the singles are the strongest songs on the album.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Definitely,
Pound
yeah.
Cake is great, you know.
Yeah. Always love that.
Judgment Day is good. I mean, is a good track too. Who doesn't like to be spanked?
Yeah.
I mean, given in the right context,
Yeah.
let's not go there, you
True.
know.
True, yeah.
It's a
True.
family show, you know what I
Oh, yeah.
mean? But you know, songs like okay, Run Around, another single right now has to be uh the best song in the album.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Musically, in terms of composition and arrangement, you know, the video that came with it. I mean, come on, it put the album over the top, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
316 is a nice little ditty, you know, like a little
Mm.
instrumental piece. Um, and you know, Top of the World, which features Steve Lukather from Toto on backing
Oh,
vocals.
oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's a good album. It was gonna be a lot lower than what it was before. So
Yeah.
that's my number 8. So
Number 8 for
yeah,
carnal knowledge. Yeah.
yeah,
So what have we got now? Number
7.
7.
Yeah,
Maybe a bit higher than some people have it. Dive it down. The draw the problem with this album, it's a bit high on the covers, you know, a bit too many covers.
yeah,
But I think they do the covers well. The Kinks one I like, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? I reckon they
yeah,
do a good job of it.
yeah,
Hang 'em High is a very good track. The second, I like Hang 'em High a lot. Good
yeah,
rocking, not rocks along at a great pace. It's got nice little interludes in there, like Intruder, Cathedral, Happy Trails, the acapella. What do you call
yeah.
acapella?
The Day
It's just singing.
11s.
Yeah, it's 1 minute. Uh, Take it or leave it. I'm not big on Dancing on the Street though. The version. I'm not big on that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably the weak point. I do love how they do "Oh Pretty Woman," and I do love "Secrets." It's very laid back, poppy sort of song. It's a bit relaxed sort of song, isn't it? A laid back
Yeah.
sort of song. Very, very good though, the way it's done.
Mhm.
Big Bad Billy Sweet William. Now that's cute. It's nothing against that. It's quite good. The Full Bug's a good rocker, but yeah, highlights for me are probably I'm missing my favourite song I ever mentioned, Little Guitars. Love Little Guitars as a song. Probably my favourite on here. Yeah, but a very good album, but a bit as I reckon it's the weakest of the first six with David, but still a very good album. So about number 7 for me. Yeah, just dive it down. 8 not from 1982. Very good album, a bit underappreciated, but
Cool.
not the best, not the worst for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Peter, I got to compliment you on the condition of your album covers. I mean, like your records, the covers look so immaculate. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
thanks.
they look so crisp and clean, like neat and
Yeah, yeah.
clean. No nicks in the corners, no creases.
No, no.
It's like what the
Some
okay.
of the I've got to make a confession. Some of those are reissues. So
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. No, but
yeah, I
still,
bought
I mean,
yeah.
still, who like reissues or not, man. Your albums are
Yeah.
like crisp and
Oh, thanks.
clean,
Yeah.
man. I feel like I got to step up my game in terms of the music I've got,
Yeah.
like, but no, it's
Yeah,
great.
if
It's
you put
great.
them in sleeves, they keep good. For the sleeves.
Yeah, no, I do too. I keep them in sleeves and,
Yeah.
but damn, I mean, like
Oh,
it's,
thanks.
I'm
Thanks for
looking at
that.
this going, okay, I got to clean up my stuff big time, but
Yeah.
oh, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, that album again, and guys, if you hear my puppy barking, it's because Bob has just come home from shopping, so forgive us
With
for
your
this.
tea. With your tea.
Yes, he's bringing me a cup of tea. Yes. um yeah, no, that album, Diver Down, it is a good album. I just think that the covers, the fact that there are like basically you have a side of covers, like one side of covers,
Mm.
kind of just sort of brings it down a little bit. Like,
Pulls it down a bit. Yeah, it
yeah,
does. It
just
does.
just
Yeah.
slightly. I mean, even though they do a good cover of Pretty Woman,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, okay. So my number 7 is Fair Warning
Ooh.
from
Okay.
1981. I want to thank you for giving this suggestion to do this ranking, because I have gained a new appreciation for Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing
Mm.
in listening to the back catalog and just getting familiar with it. He tore it up on guitar. He
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like just amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
You know, this album did not do as well as
No.
previous albums. It was, for the longest time, it was the lowest selling in the catalog, but it's still
Mm.
it's a great album. I mean, songs like
Oh
Mean
yeah.
Street,
Yeah.
Dirty Movies, um, Sinner Swing, you know, Unchained, the single, So
Oh
This
yeah.
Is Love,
Awesome. Awesome.
So This
Yeah.
Is Love, another single. I like the moody instrumental, Sunday afternoon in the park,
Yeah.
with the keyboards. And this was when they wanted it,
Mm.
where Eddie Van Halen wanted to start to use more keyboards. And it was
Mm.
said that that Ted Templeman and Roth kind of discouraged him from that. David Lee Roth apparently at one point said, "Your guitar is all we need. You're a wizard on the guitar. That's all we need. We don't need keyboards, right?"
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Eddie Van Halen was getting frustrated with Roth, And at one point, guys, you should know this. Eddie Van Halen wanted to join Kiss.
Yes, he did.
Prior
Yeah,
to the Creatures of the Night
yeah,
sessions, he wanted to join Kiss. He wanted to leave Van Halen and join Kiss. And
yes, yeah.
both Simmons, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley dissuaded him from it. It's like, you got to go back to your band and work it out and keep things going because you're doing good, kind of a thing, right? So it is a good album. I'm going to be listening to it more after going through the catalog. I think it's fantastic. But again, these albums have to go in some order. So that's my number 7. Fair warning.
Fair warning, number 7. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's a phenomenal album. I love that
Mhm.
album. More on that later.
Yes,
Yeah,
Peter.
yeah. Um,
Yes, Peter. I got that. I
um,
got that. Okay.
number 6. Are we number 6? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
5150. Number 6.
Okay.
A great album. My favorite Sammy album, actually. A great album. I played the hell out of this when it came out in 1986. The singles are great, aren't they? Why Can't This Be Love? Why Can't This Be Love? So catchy. Dreams. I love the guitar solo at the end. Eddie Van Halen. I love the guitar solo. Get Up's a very hard rocking song.
Yeah.
Good Enough starts things off. A great, good opening track.
Thanks,
Summer
Bob.
Nights. Summer Nights is a beauty.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds. Pretty good the whole way through. Actually, this album
Yeah.
pretty solid all the way through. Love Walks Into the ballady song on the album. Very
Mm-hmm.
nice. I've got a big thing for the title track. I think that's a great song. 5150.
Mm-hmm.
The title track is really good. Probably the weakest is Inside, but I still like it. The last song, but I still
Yeah.
like it. It's probably the weakest for me. But I remember playing the hell out of it. His first album with them, Sammy Hagar. So yeah, from 1986, 5150, number 6 for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
a great album. Just because it's number 6, I just like others a bit better than it. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
So
going to
it's a
take this
great album.
opportunity. I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you a question. I think I've asked you this before, but in particular with Van Halen, should they have, when David Lee Roth left, should they have called it quits or should they have continued on?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a difficult question. At the time, I would have said continue, but the more as time goes on, I'm thinking. The more as time goes on, I'm thinking Ruff was the perfect guy for them. So
Really?
the as more, yeah. I think as time goes on,
Ooh, okay.
no,
No, everyone, it's your opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he's perfect with Eddie. I think as when they're together, you know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they feed off each other a bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No disrespect to Sammy. I reckon Sammy's a great singer.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy's a great singer, good musician. I think he did a great job in the band. And 5150 is a great album. I
Mm-hmm.
think the other two after it are excellent as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I just as time goes on, the more I think Roth was made from. But yeah, that's just it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What about
Um,
yourself?
I think that if there are issues within the band between members, which in this case there were on both
Mm.
fronts of in both versions of Van Halen, of Roth
Yeah.
and Hagar, I don't see the reason for carrying on if there's too much stress in the band. If
Mm.
someone wants to leave and the others don't like working with him or her, move on. You can do, and
Yeah,
I don't think you need to break up the band. I think maybe you need to take some time off and rethink the priorities of the band, and maybe rework obviously the working structure of the band, but not break up.
mm,
I'm just saying that because there's been a lot of talk about groups like Styx, oh, it's not Styx without Dennis DeYoung, you know,
yeah. There's a lot
and
of talk on that. Yeah.
a little footnote. Bill Schuster, I know you're probably watching. I know you love Dennis DeYoung. I love you, Bill, but no.
Oh, he's a pro Dennis DeYoung guy, is he?
He's a pro Dennis DeYoung fan.
Oh,
I love you,
Dennis
Bill,
is
but
excellent. Dennis is excellent, I must
he's
say.
excellent. But at the same time, I mean, I usually say they're exes for a reason. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes better than the people involved. So you can't force something that isn't going to work for them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you know,
I don't want people to get me wrong. I think Sammy's a very talented guy.
yeah,
I don't want people to get me wrong, but
yeah,
it's just that, and I love the first three albums he did with him. Even the one at number 10's a good album. Yeah, but number 6, and I've got 5150. It's just that I don't know. When I heard the Roth albums, I thought, oh, this is something else. So that's how I felt anyhow. That's
yeah,
that's when I heard him. You heard him with Roth and that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's I got the
Um,
feeling.
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just think that if it isn't working within the band structure, if the guys in the band are not getting along, it's no point in forcing it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't.
that's going to cause friction, eh? Friction in the band and
Yeah,
all that.
it just causes friction, and you don't work at your best when you're all stressed
Mm.
out.
Mm.
But again, that's my very humble opinion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
We must carry on, ladies and gentlemen.
carry on. Yeah.
My number 6 is Women and Children First.
Oh, okay.
1980, a fantastic album.
Oh yeah.
I really didn't give this album the time of day until I was listening to it for the show. I was like, and I'm
Oh.
listening to it. I'm like, what the hell is like? I just about fell out of the wheelchair. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like, give me an effing break here. Like, oh my God.
Probably their heaviest album. Probably their heaviest album.
Yeah, it starts off with "In the Cradle Will Rock."
Yeah.
Uh, Everybody Wants Some.
Oh,
Fools.
shit, yeah.
Um, you know, uh, just amazing guitar work from Eddie Van Halen on all these tracks. Sorry, my eyes are bothering me right now. Tora Tora, the little 49-second intro on side
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
Loss of Control, you know, fantastic. Could This Be Magic? The little acoustic
Yeah. It's nice,
number
yeah.
that they do with featuring Nicolette Larson on backing vocals,
Yes.
and it should be said that before Van Halen released their first album in 78, Eddie Van Halen contributed guitar work to Nicolette Larson's album from 78, uncredited. So,
Oh, really?
oh
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't get
didn't
any
know
credit for it. But he was working with Ted Templeman. He was Warner Brothers house producer at the time. So,
that.
he did it as a favor, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great album. It's a fantastic album. I I'm sorry that I didn't give these albums more notice before now, but
Mm.
I think it's just fantastic,
That
and
is, yeah. It is.
yeah, and I'm going to be investing in these albums at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my number 6.
All right. Number 5 now.
Number
Okay, here
5.
it is. Number 5 is this one. 1984.
Ah, okay. The
So I
baby
got
makes an
into my top, I
appearance.
got into my top five there.
Cool.
um, nice little instrumental to start.
Yeah,
The 1984 "Jump," a catchy song, obvious hit. It's just
yeah,
so catchy with the keyboards, the guitar playing,
yeah,
the solo. I mean, and yeah, it's just one of those songs, isn't it? It's catchy. It just grabs you straight off.
yeah,
And Panama is a great riff in Panama. I love that.
yeah.
Top Jimmy, I've always liked. Not my favorite on there. Always liked it. One song that has over the years gone from strength to strength for me is "Drop Dead Legs."
Oh yeah,
That yeah, it's gone up in the
yeah.
estimation for me. Just a
Solid,
thumping track, isn't it? Yeah,
solid track. Yeah,
solid, really good stuff. Yeah, really good.
full of
It
sex,
just
full of attitude,
yeah, just got something that's got a bit of power to it, a bit of oomph to it,
swagger.
and yeah, that's the word, swagger. Yeah, that's the word.
Ass
And then
shaker
you
of the
got
track.
it's a great one. Yeah, over the years that has gone elevated for me. That song, always liked it, but even more so these days.
Yeah,
Hoffa Teacher, a bit played out, but it's fun. I love it. Yeah, it's a bit played out, but I love it. I'll wait. I like it. It's a bit different, bit laid back more, but I like it. Great rocking song, Girl Gone Bad, and House of Pain to finish off. Really good. So yeah, not my favorite album, but definitely up there in the top five. So I'm gonna go that number five, 1984. Yeah,
hmm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So do you think that that album has been played maybe too much or just enough?
Probably too much. Yeah. Especially the big songs. The big songs.
Yeah, the
That's
hits. Yeah,
why Drop Dead Legs has sort of gone up in my estimation from that.
yeah,
Drop Dead,
yeah,
even Girl Gone Bad's quite good. Yeah,
yeah.
quite like that. But yeah, the singles were played to death, weren't they? The singles from it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, here in North America, they were just again in Canada, we had Much Music,
Mm.
um, which was the Canadian equivalent to MTV at the time, and those videos were played ad nauseum, just
Yeah.
over and over and over again. It was just like, holy shit, like enough,
Mm.
right? But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, videos were a marketing tool,
Mm.
and it did the trick. You know,
Yeah.
um, I think 1984 has sold Diamond in Canada, which
Wow. Yeah. It's a
I
big
believe
seller.
I believe it's 10 million copies sold in Canada alone. So,
Jeez.
I mean, holy shit, right? I mean, but
Yeah.
you know, um, but yeah, no, that's a good choice. My number five, ladies and gentlemen, is Van Halen 3.
Ooh.
Now, start the hate. Come on, bring it on. Bring it right here, right here, right in the chest here. Come on, come on, come on,
Wow.
right there,
Number
right
five.
there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I always I got this album when it came out in March of '98. Um, I like it. I I like the choice of Gary Sharon for lead vocalist.
Mm.
I thought it was interesting uh, that he was chosen. Eddie Van Halen has gone on record as saying that they got along. He and Gary Sharon got along so well that they felt that they were soulmates
Oh, wow.
in terms of writing.
Mm.
That Gary's ability to come up with melody lines and lyrics just
Mm.
basically drew him to a guitar or a piano or whatever instrument was close by.
Mm.
Um, the album is a departure. I don't knock them for that. I don't knock any band for wanting to try something different. Whether or not we like it as fans is another story altogether.
Or yeah. Yeah.
Um, I do I did find it kind of interesting they chose Mike Post as a producer.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Mm.
produced theme music for shows like The Rockford Files.
Yeah. Interesting choice. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the A Team for a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hill Street Blues. I think, you know, like Law
Yeah,
and
it's very
Order.
different to hard rock music.
Until I read that Mike Post produced albums for Dolly Parton in the
Yeah.
80s, 9 to 5, and
Mm.
Kenny Rogers in the first edition
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
in the 60s.
Wow.
Um, I do like, I do like the album. Songs like New World, where the piano, it's just a piano piece that starts
Mm.
off the album with the
Yeah.
acoustic guitar. And the melody line from New World is Without You,
Mm.
if you listen
Mm.
to it on the chorus.
Mel-
And that's Mike Post on piano, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that track. I like Without You. I like Once. That's my favorite track on the album. As I told you
Mm.
before we start taping, A Year to the Day
Yeah. Yeah.
is just gut wrenching. I mean,
Yeah. It's probably my favorite. Yeah, I like A Year to the Day. Yeah, if you
I,
pick one.
I like its experimentation on A
Mm.
Year to the Day. I like the fact that Gary Sharon sounds like his vocal cords are about to be ripped out of his, like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's going at it so hard on the mic that it almost sounds like his throat is bleeding, that he's
Mm.
doing such a good delivery on it,
Yeah.
such a powerful emotional delivery. um I do like Josephina,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a nice track. Yeah.
I I do think that it could have gone without using How Many Say I,
Yeah.
you know. Fire in the Hole is good.
It's a good
um
track in that Fire in the Hole. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ballad or the Bullet is a good track, good
Mm.
rocking track. um I do agree with Gary Sharon that they should, because he said they should have gone on tour
Mm.
before they recorded the album,
Mm.
right? Because he said, "Oh, we went right into the studio to record this album. Some of it he likes, some of it he doesn't like." Um, Looking back on it, he says we should have done a tour first with me, and then do an album to get the fans used to me being around.
Yeah, that'd be an idea, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, there are demos of another Gary Sharon led Van Halen, but they're never going to be surfaced at all. They're never going to
Yeah.
be circulated. Um, they started to do demos. Apparently, Warner Brothers said to Eddie Van Halen, "You need to get rid of Gary Sharon, or we're dropping you. Like, we're done."
Yeah.
They ended up dropping them, and anyway, so that's my number
Yeah.
5. Again, start the hate comments, keep them coming. But that is my number 5. I think it's a good
Wow.
album. I
Yeah.
don't think it's a perfect album, but I think it's good. I think it's a strong
Yeah.
album.
Okay. So my number, what are we up to now? Number 4.
Yeah.
Love this album. 1979 Van Halen 2. Really
Powerful.
great album.
Powerful.
Yeah, very good, isn't it? I mean, from start to finish, you got, could I even put this higher, but I didn't. You're No Good, the cover song, opens things
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
A lot of people have criticised him for that, for opening the album with a cover. I've heard a couple of people say, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. From Linda
Um,
Ronstadt, You're No Good. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Dance the Night Away was the hit, catchy as very, very
Yeah.
poppy but catchy pop rock song. Somebody Get Me a Doctor, really good track,
Oh, yeah.
rocking track, fantastic. Bottoms Up's nice. Out of Love Again, I like as well. Just from start to finish, I mean, Then you get the side 2, Light Up the Sky. Very, very good track, very rocking. And you got the little instrumental, you got Spanish Fly.
Yeah, that's a good.
And then you got my favorite track has to be DOA. I just love that song. The riff and the way Roth does it.
Yeah,
DOA was my favorite on the amongst a lot of favorites though.
yeah.
Women in Love's a bit toned down, but it's good. It's good,
Hmm.
and a great finish with Beautiful Girls. But one of their best, and I thought this would be the case that their first 4 albums are my top 4 in whatever order they might be in. But number 4, Van Halen 2, 1979. Yeah,
Cool, cool.
yeah.
That he does some blistering guitar work on that.
Oh God, yeah, yeah,
Just goes right for the throat and doesn't let
yeah.
go.
He's awesome. Yeah,
Jesus Christ. And I mean, so does Roth on vocals. It's just like
yeah.
very powerful, very powerful. My number 4, ladies and gentlemen, we must carry on. Is you ready for this? 5150.
Oh wow, great album though.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was going to be my number 1. This was going to be my number 1.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
that I mean I like the album. I mean, it sounds like Good Enough where it starts off, hello baby. I mean, like,
yeah.
like at the bit, like, and like I think that was just a fantastic way to start off side 1, like hello baby, like boom, and goes right into it, right? I think it's great. I've always loved Why Can't This Be Love.
Oh yeah,
I
it's a great track.
love
Yeah.
that track, the arrangement, the synths, the keyboards. I mean, and it's just the whole structure of this track and the way it's arranged is effing amazing. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's one of my top Van Halen songs, along with Once. Forgive me, but it's true.
Oh, well, there you go.
Dreams is a good track.
Yeah, very good,
Um,
isn't it? Dreams.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get Up. It's an ass kicker.
Oh yeah, it's one of those.
It just grabs you again by the throat, and it's like, we're here.
Yeah. It's
We're like, listen to this. We're here. Listen to this song. You're not gonna be the same by the end of it, because he just
oh yeah, it's an ass kicker, right? It's so rocking.
it
It's
goes
just
from 0
amazing.
to 100 in like
Yeah.
2 seconds. Boom.
Mm,
Like just amazing. Um, Love Walks In. Okay. As
mm,
a as a ballad, power ballad kind of thing. It's fine.
mm.
Best of Both Worlds, I like.
Yep.
It's a good way to start off side 2. 5150 is a good track, and I like how they ended the album. I like Inside. I like
Mm.
again, I've used this term before. I like the attitude, the sex, and the swagger of Inside. You know,
Oh, okay.
just
Yeah.
very funky bass,
Mm.
you know, funk galore, in my opinion. Just leaves a stain on you when you hear it. I swear to God.
Yeah.
And the core, like the group vocal on the chorus, it's in the banter you
Oh,
hear,
yeah.
back and forth between the members.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just a playful, fun sex track. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
attitude, I like that. This was going to be my number 1, ladies and gentlemen, but
Okay.
there were other albums when I listened to it I like more.
Thought.
So,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
and this was
Yeah, it
like,
was my number. That one was my number 6, but it's a great album. It's a
yeah,
great album for me. That one.
yeah.
It is a good album. Yeah.
No, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. What do we got? Number 3 from
Yeah.
1980. This one.
Oh,
Women and
okay.
Children First at number 3.
That's a good one.
Probably their heaviest album for me. I was playing this the other day. This is just phenomenal. I mean, the
Yeah.
tracks, the heaviness. I mean, and the Cradle Will Rock. What a great opener, isn't that? Isn't it a great opener?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Cradle Will Rock. And then it gets even better. Everybody Wants Some. Another one.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Fools, the opening guitar, how it builds,
Yeah.
the beginning of it, how it builds up. He builds it up. He goes into the riff. Fantastic song. Romeo Delight is just scorching. It's a scorching track.
Yeah.
That one, it's a
I
great
forgot
song.
to mention that track too in my list.
Yeah, it's a great one of their best early songs for me. Then you get that little piece. What is it called? Tora Tora. Loss of
Yeah.
Control's pretty frenetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty rocking. Take Your Whiskey Home. Nice, bit different, but nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you got
Mm-hmm.
Could This Be Magic. I think that's perfectly placed on the album. You got that little very different, very, very nice.
A bit of a
And in a
riff.
simple rhyme, a good finish. But this is one of their best for me. And it's probably their heaviest album. Love the cover too. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
number
Even for
3
Eddie
from
Overboard.
1980, their third album. Yeah, Women and
Yeah.
Children First. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Mm.
cool. I was just surprised how melodic and rocking these albums are. I
Yeah.
mean, the earlier albums, I'm quite pleasantly surprised that I'm wrong.
That might move up your list probably later, maybe.
Yeah,
You never know.
probably. Yeah, you never know. You never know. I just wish that that when they reissue these albums, they put like maybe like some extra tracks from the sessions on these albums.
Yeah, yeah.
That would attract people to buy them more, like to get these.
Yeah, apparently they're releasing I don't know if you're in it, but Mobile Fidelity are doing the first 6 albums in 45 RPM.
Oh no, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
and SACD. Yeah,
I didn't hear
the
that.
first 6 rough albums. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know that they re-released and the catalog on CD form, like in volumes. Like volume 1 was the Roth era, volume 2
yeah,
was the Hagar era.
yeah.
They're
It's coming out shortly, I think. The Sammy
in,
years. Yeah, on
in
vinyl and
September.
CD. You can
Yeah,
have
in
your choice
September.
there.
September.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you can get them if you want. But no, like I
mm,
said, I'm surprised that I didn't give these albums enough attention previously,
yeah.
like in the early years. But well, there you go. I mean, that's what I've always said. You when you think you know all there is to know about music, and you don't think that you need to learn anything else, you might as well just call it quits.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Just say forget it.
yeah. Yeah, you
Move on.
never know. You can hear something and think, "Oh, what's this? I never listened to this much before," and then you
Exactly,
think this
and
is awesome. Yeah,
you can
yeah,
gain an appreciation for it.
yeah.
So that was your number 3, right?
3, yeah.
My
Yep.
number 3 is Van Halen 2.
Wow. Yeah.
Um,
Great album.
yeah.
Great stuff.
I've heard people say that Van Halen 1 is their number 1,
Mm,
and Van Halen 1 was going to be my number 1. It's not. But I've heard other people say that this is their favorite Van Halen album, Van Halen 2. Released in 79, a stronger album than Van Halen debut for like
mm,
musically. I don't know why. Even from a sonic point of view, like sonically, it sounds stronger.
yeah.
It sounds cleaner. The drums sound more crisp and more clean. For some reason, it starts off with the cover of "You're No Good." Um, Bottoms Up is a fantastic track.
Yeah.
Somebody Get Me a Doctor is just a kick-ass, balls to the wall rock track for me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Spanish Fly, I believe it's track 7 on the album.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
instrumental. And Light Up the Sky is another good track. I just think that this album, they were they were more aggressive
Mm,
from a music point of view, in terms of like the arrangements, just the whole performance of the album. It's just they were hungry for
mm.
something. They were
Oh,
going,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah, they were
definitely.
going again for the throat,
Oh God,
musically, and they wanted to outdo. I think they wanted to try and outdo the debut, and in my very humble opinion, they did.
yeah, yeah. Younger guys at the time too, isn't it? It's got when they're younger, they go for it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, it's true. It's true.
yeah.
Um, I mean, it is what it is. It's a good album. It is a bit, it is a bit stronger than the debut, but I mean, the debut also had, like, Running with the Devil and Janie's Crying and Ice Cream
Oh
Man
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Atomic Punk, and
Mm.
you know, You Really Got Me, right? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know what
Classic.
I mean? Like,
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, that's
Yeah, it's hard to beat, isn't it? That first album, you got to, yeah, it's
yeah,
hard to
no,
beat.
it is. Okay, so yeah, that's my number three, Van Halen 2.
Oh,
So
getting down to the end now.
yes, we
Number
are.
two, number two, number two, eh? The first album, number two. Um, well, it goes without saying, it's a classic. Been played a lot, of course, but look at the track listing. I mean, Running with the Devil, Eruption, that brilliant guitar piece. You got the cover of the Kinks, You Really Got Me,
Yeah.
sensational. Ain't
Mhm.
Talking About Love, one of my favorites. I'm the One's a classic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Jamie's Crying, I like. Um, Atomic Punk, that's great as well.
yeah,
Feel Your Love Tonight um, is probably my least favorite, but I like it a lot. I
yeah.
like it. Yeah, probably my least favorite. But I've always adored Little Dreamer, just the opening part, the guitar
Okay.
part. Little Dream, I've always liked that.
Hmm.
Ice Cream Man, a good cover, and On Fire's a cracking ending. Yeah, just you could see why this was a huge hit at the time. Even when you play it today, it's still good.
Yeah.
Still stands up. I know it's been played a lot, but most people's number one probably, but
Hmm. Hmm.
I've got it at number two. You can't argue if somebody put it number one, but
No, no.
yeah, it's my number two anyhow. There's just one album I just think is for me just is it for me,
Just
yeah.
does it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, there are albums that come out. Like, I remember seeing, and I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, the documentary, "The History of Rock and Roll," a few minutes
yeah,
ago when we started this video back in the 70s. Um, I remember on that documentary, Ozzy Osbourne saying that when you heard the first Led Zeppelin album, that it was
yeah,
like a breath of fresh air,
yeah, yeah.
that it was just something completely different. Well, to some people in the 70s, this album, Van Halen, the debut, was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, yeah,
It just sort of knocked the doors off of any
yeah.
constraints that people thought that they had, right, in terms of what they could do musically, and it made a believer of a lot of people that rock and roll wasn't dead at the
You'd call
time.
it a game changer, wouldn't you? A game, definitely,
Yeah,
most definitely.
this is one of those
Yeah,
albums that's a game changer, and
yeah,
it is my number two.
yeah.
Um, Van Halen, the debut, was going to be my number one, but I mean, again, of all the reasons you said, I mean, Eruption,
Oh
Running
yeah,
with the
that's
Devil,
classic.
Janie's Crying,
Oh yeah.
like, You Really Got Me. That
Mm.
the lead off single. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just energetic. It is frantic. It goes from 0 to 100 in like 0.2 seconds, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the guitars, the guitar solo. Um, and if you see the video for it, like
Mm.
you see David Lee Roth gyrating with the hips and the whole bit, and
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Alex Van Halen's got that big mane of hair like all over the place, and he's like with on the drum kit, he's just beating on the. It's just like, what the hell am I watching here? It is great. Ice Cream Man is great. On
Oh,
Fire
fantastic.
is a good way to end the album, because I mean, like, he's just literally screaming.
Oh
Roth is
yeah.
just, you know, going
Phenomenal, yeah.
for it. So yeah, um, for me, for a lot of people, it was a game changer. I first heard this album in '84, and
Mm.
I thought it was great. There is one album for me that's just, upon listening to it, I thought it deserved to be my number one, but we'll get to that in a minute, guys.
Yeah, just
So
a little story on just a little story on I heard online.
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw David Lee Roth interviewed on Joe Rogan,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Joe Rogan, and he was talking about Jamie's Crying. What they tried to do with that song is they tried to make upbeat or happy music, which where it's up tempo, and
Mhm.
with the subject matter of, like he said, the music was very up, but the subject matter, he said, what is she doing? She's crying. So a sad lyrics, but an up music. You got me? Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a dichotomy,
sort of
like,
like that. That's what it was
yeah,
trying to do there.
yeah.
Yeah,
If that's the right
yeah,
term, dichotomy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like, just have like polar opposites, like upbeat,
Yes, yeah,
upbeat, upbeat tempo music, and just very down lyrics, right? So like, so
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Very interesting.
it's the
Yeah,
way it is, right? So I mean,
yeah.
and that's good. I didn't know that. No, that's good.
Mm.
That's good. So, moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
This
Trumpets,
album
please.
is my
Dun, dun,
number
dun,
one.
dun.
It's an album. I don't know. It's one of my favorite albums ever, as well as that first album, of course. But I can't go past this one. 1981's Fair Warning.
Really?
Yeah, I just love this album. Um, it's got Mean Street. It's just a fantastic song, Mean Street.
Okay.
Just a wonderful opening. He come to that guitar wizardry he comes in with,
Yeah.
and then getting the riff. Oh, great. Dirty
Yeah.
Movies, another cracking song. It comes in. It starts off to the drums. Sinner Swing's a real good track as well. Hear About It Later. Great, great song. Unchained again. From start to finish, I just love it. I like When Push Comes to Shove. Very different, very laid
Mhm.
back again. I like how they do that. They've, like Secrets on Diver Down. It's a bit more laid back. When push comes to shove, push comes to shove. Sorry. Very catchy is So This Is Love. Really
Mhm.
good. Very good instrumental. Very interesting sounding. Sunday Afternoon in the Park. And a great finish, 1 foot out the door. Very short though, 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
But a great track. I don't know, something. It's just, I don't know. I just really got this album from day one, and yeah, just I don't know, just hits every mark for me. Just I don't know. Just I've heard other people. I've heard people say their first album's the best. I've heard people say Van Halen 2. I've heard some people
Mhm.
say Women and Children First.
Mhm.
I've heard some people say this, quite a few actually. So this is in 1984, even 5150, whatever. But yeah, I'll go for this one as the number one. Fair Warning. Yeah, yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
Um, hmm. Well, yeah, well, like I said, I mean, and back when we started the show, Fair Warning sold very poorly at the beginning, like,
yeah, yeah.
really low numbers, but it sort of gained momentum over time, right? And I mean, it's a good choice. It's a really good choice.
And it's a little bit of a dark album too. It's got a bit of a darkness to it too, which I
Yeah,
quite like.
yeah. No, it's
It's a bit like um, you get these albums that really weren't played, overexposed too, isn't
yeah,
it? There's it's a bit like the AC/DC album Power Rage. It's not
okay.
played to death like back in Black or Hayward Hell, but it's a lot of people's favorite now. It's a bit
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah. That's sort of like, the pitfall of a band that has like a really successful album
yeah,
that
yeah,
generates like 1,000 singles. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
it does overshadow um some of the albums in their catalog, some of the other
Mm.
albums in their catalog. Like, for example, like Def Leppard with Hysteria. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
it overshadows, you know, albums like High and Dry and On Through the Night. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
those two are considered the best of the Def Leppard catalog.
Mm.
Who remember Def Leppard as a heavy metal band or a hard rock band, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the term heavy metal means these days. I mean,
Oh, they did it well on High and Dry.
yeah,
I think. Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, but no, I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
Um,
So
now the moment of truth.
you fair warning. You said you like the album, so you just sort of so it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I do like Fair Warning. I do like Fair Warning
Mm.
quite a bit. I think it was my number 7. Right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I do like it quite a bit. I love Eddie Van Halen's guitar uh,
yeah.
prowess. Just his ability to just come up with these solos and just like he's pulling them out of thin air kind of thing, right?
Mm.
Um, but that comes from him practicing, sitting on his bed practicing when he was like 14 for like 10
Mm.
hours a day, kind of
Yeah.
thing, just
Mm.
playing away, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen,
Here we
my
go.
number, my number one.
I don't think I've got. I know what it is, but yeah, go. I'll
My
bring it
number
up on.
one is Balance,
Oh, yep. Well, that's it.
1995. Was that what you thought it was?
Yes, yes. Because I knew I was the only one left. So
Yeah,
there you go. I had it at number 11, but I like it. I like it.
yeah.
I like some
Um,
songs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I Upon listening to this album, I thought that, I mean, I've always known the hits, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. I think that track is
Mm,
fantastic. It's very
mm,
menacing in terms of his vocal delivery on the verses. The guitar riffing on it is fantastic. Uh, Can't Stop Loving You, good middle of the road rock pop track, AOR
mm.
FM track. Amsterdam is great.
Oh, yeah, my favorite.
Big Fat Money,
Mm.
you know. I like the instrumentals, Strung Out and Doing Time. And the other instrumental starts with, I can't pronounce it.
Bella Satirian or something like that. It's very hard to say.
Let me
Yeah,
see in my notes here. Bellocatherium.
yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
Bellocatherium. I like
yeah.
that. I like the fact that Bellocatherium, I said it again properly, Bellocatherium, is an extended piece. Like, it's not just a minute and something.
Yeah,
I like the fact that it's like 4 minutes and change. Like
yeah.
they really sort of went into it. They got into it, and the fact that they did 3 instrumentals on an album which they hadn't done in a while,
Mm,
I think is great. I think Aftershock is a good track as well.
mm,
I just think musically it's a strong album. I think I think cohesively it's a strong album, like as one piece of music. I also forgot to mention the leadoff track, The Seventh Seal,
Steel. Yeah,
which
yeah.
I believe won a Grammy
Mm,
for best hard rock performance in 1996. Um, I just think it's a really strong album. I think out of all of the Hagar albums, and by the way, the record company did want them to change their name to Van Hagar
Oh, really?
at one point.
Oh,
According to my research, Warner Brothers approached Alex and Eddie Van Halen about changing the name to Van Hagar because Sammy Hagar had a recording career with Geffen Records and Capitol with Montrose before this. So he had a bankable name to go along with Van Halen.
yeah.
And the Van Halen brothers just put their foot down and said, "We're not doing that. We're a band.
No,
This is what we started. This is what we're going to finish." I agree with that.
of course. Oh, yeah.
My
Yeah.
my rant aside, um, I think again musically, I think this is a very strong album. I think it's one of the hardest albums they've ever done. In terms of a hard rock album, I just think it's fantastic. And
Mm.
the the cover of the two conjoined twins,
Yeah.
being ripped apart
Mm.
is a strong message because at the time, and by the way, there is a book out there on this time of the Hagar years called Everybody Wants Some, I think written by Ian Christie.
Mm.
And it talks about this time in the band that this was a point where they were fighting. There was Sammy Hagar was
Oh, okay.
fighting
Yeah.
heavily. He was fighting heavily with Alex and Eddie Van Halen over what was going on in the band management wise. So for a last hurrah, for like one last push of an album, I think this was a strong album to go out on. I think it is, of the Hagar years, the strongest album that they've ever done. So that is my number one. So,
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that was a long list.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit. I hope you guys got some good food, got some good drink, and whatever you need to get through to get you through the
Very different lists, though. We had very different lists.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that
Yeah.
fact too. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we did like last time, three of our choices were the same ones, right? So,
Yeah.
and guys, we don't discuss this before we do these episodes,
No, no. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, so that is our list. So you guys down below in the comments, please give us your listing of Van Halen albums. What is your favorite? What is your least favorite? Yes, even include Van Halen 3. It is a Van
Yeah.
Halen album. It does fall under the moniker of Van Halen. So please include Van Halen 3 and let us know what you think of Van Halen. Do you prefer the Roth period? Do you prefer the Hagar period? Do you prefer the brief period of Sharon? Let me know what you think. All right. Or let us know what you think. And yeah, give us your comments and your lists. And click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that I've got coming up. And guys, please check out Peter Kent's channel, the Lizard King channel. Does fantastic content. So, I'm sure he would appreciate you going over to his channel.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing at some point, we talked about a couple of weeks back about doing a show on Black Sabbath Sabotage.
Oh, yes. Yes, we did.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that off camera, I guess. So
Yeah.
so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So for Mr. Peter Kent, I am Armando Venditti. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we will see you soon with another video. So
Bye for now.
have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.